Hey, welcome to Calgary Basement Sessions. I'm Ben Price.
And I'm Ben Montgomery.
And today we're talking to Megan Dawson. Megan Dawson is a pop singer-songwriter from Calgary, Alberta. Her newest release, Double Take, was recorded at OCL Studios in Calgary. Dawson co-produced the song alongside Josh Gwilliam to bring a mid-2000s pop style to her modern pop sound. Double Take made the iTunes Pop Top 200 chart on its day of release, and the song has reached more than 15,000 streams and was added to over 15 playlists on Spotify since its release on April 21st. Dawson wrapped up a 2019 by opening for Andrew Allen on his sold-out All Hearts Come Home tour stop in Calgary at the King Eddie, and participating in Canada's Music Incubator's Artist Entrepreneur West Professional Development Program at Studio Bell, home of the National Music Centre. She got her start in Calgary country music scene in 2016, actively playing numerous stages and making multiple radio appearances around Alberta. In 2018, Dawson was nominated for Alberta Country Music Association Fans' Choice Award and performed at the ACMA Fan Festival.
Awesome, that sounded great.
Thanks, guys.
Fantastic, amazing. So tell us about the writing process. I know you worked with Josh for that song. Tell us about how he helped you and how you sort of collaborated to write this song.
It was really cool because I wrote this song by myself. I think it was probably 2 years ago, and it was just one of those ones. I wrote it in like 45 minutes. I think it was one of those ones where it was kind of in the back of my brain, but I didn't actually fully recognize that yet. So I just knew that when I sat down for this session, I just wanted something very easy listening that kind of had that little bit of a throwback feel to it. And from a genre perspective, it kind of just crossed over many different things. Like it was just on its own a cool kind of song to listen to. And so this one kind of came out super quickly, and then I was able to take it to Josh at OCL, and we kind of tried to figure out a style of how we wanted to produce it. And it was really cool because I've never done the production thing before, and I've never had the producer role. And so we basically just like kind of found some cool reference tracks, like some Jimmy Eat World, a little bit of Simple Plan stuff, which is so funny because it's so different than in all of my other stuff. But that's what I grew up listening to. That was like my everything, right? So what we did is we just kind of like fused a little bit of like that modern kind of pop, easy listening with a little bit of a country sound to it with kind of that throwback feel. But yeah, the song lyrically, it just kind of, it's like a love song, but it's kind of changed a lot for me. It's kind of, it doesn't necessarily mean that for me, but I think what's kind of cool is so many people can take many different perspectives from it. But yeah, the process, it was very just kind of go with the flow and taking in many different elements of kind of the modern pop, throwback pop kind of vibe. And now it's Double Take and the one that you guys can hear everywhere. So yeah.
Yeah, no, we love it. Yeah, we saw the lyric video on YouTube as well, and it was great.
Thank you. Oh,
Yeah, it was
I'm
awesome.
stoked that you liked it.
Yeah,
Thank
yeah.
you.
Right, so we ask every artist this because every artist we've interviewed has been to OCL Studios, right? So
Yeah.
We're not bitter about it.
Yeah, we're not bitter about it. So tell us about your experience at OCL.
Oh my gosh, it was so wonderful. It was really cool because I had recorded my first 2 singles there as well. And I love the environment. It's very relaxed. It kind of feels homey as soon as you walk in, which is really cool. And it was nice because with the process of Double Take, we rather than doing like a full studio session day and just doing one and then that was it, we wanted to break it up so we were able to do multiple days. So we did tracking drums one day and then guitars and then vocals and did it all separately. But that was mostly just because I really wanted to take in the whole process of the production and every aspect of what was going into the song. But the studio itself is just absolutely incredible. I highly recommend it. It's such a beautiful space and it's very comfortable. I think that's kind of the main thing I would say overall. It really provides a very relaxed environment, which is so important when you're creating music. So yeah, I thought it was fantastic.
Definitely, yeah. No, I agree with you there about having like a very a very welcoming and like homely sort of atmosphere for the artists, just like to bring out the creative juices, I guess,
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, and it's definitely 100% that. So it's a great vibe and it's a really cool studio and it's beautiful. So that itself, yeah.
I know exactly. Yeah, we've only seen pictures of it, but maybe one day.
I don't have any reason to go there.
I just go to
go to see.
Take
just go. Yeah,
tours.
Go have a beer.
it's pretty cool.
I agree.
Yeah. So tell us about. So the song has been on a few Spotify playlists, and it's had over, I think it was 15,000 streams.
Yeah.
That is crazy. How does that feel?
At time of writing this bio.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, you're
How
right.
many more now?
Yeah, how many more now? Do you know?
Sorry, I just missed that last bit. It kind of cut out.
Do you know how many streams you've got now? Because at the time of this bio, it had 15,000 streams.
Yeah, I think it's actually up. I think it's about 20,000 now, which is like kind of mind blowing. I was not. I think you never know when you're releasing stuff, and when I released like the beginning of the whole quarantine kind of situation, so I was like, I don't know how this is going to go, but we're going to roll with it. And it was really cool to the support and people adding it to playlists and stuff like that was just like unlike anything I've experienced. So I was very grateful, very grateful.
Yeah, definitely, that's crazy. Yeah, in your bio had a list of all the playlists that is on, and it's
Did you submit the song to playlists, or was it people heard the song and added it on
it was
their
a
own?
little bit of a mixture.
Yeah, it's kind of what we've heard.
Yeah,
from
it's a
other
bit of
people as
mixture.
well.
It's kind of both of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it was cool because I wasn't able to do kind of a push it radio for this one because of the whole quarantine. And so I really was like, okay, we're going to take advantage of Spotify and really just trying to reach out to as many playlists as we can. But also it was really cool to see the reaction of people who, from many different music lovers who like pop to rock to country, everyone was adding it to playlists, which was so cool because I thought like that was my goal. Like I said before, it was like kind of just have a crossover, just a song that was just easy listening. So it was really cool to see many people adding it to different kinds of playlists, and yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's fantastic. So on another note, tell us about opening for Andrew Allen at King Eddie. That must have been a crazy experience, yeah.
Oh my gosh, that was such a highlight, I think, of like everything I've done. That was so cool. I remember I was actually doing the incubator program that I had mentioned there too, and so I was kind of just at Studio Bell a lot. It was a really wonderful kind of time in my world. And Andrew actually, he reached out to me through Instagram, I think maybe 3 weeks before the show. And we had never met in person, but had heard of each other through mutual friends and stuff like that. And he needed an opener. And I was like, so I remember I got this DM and I'm like trying not to pass out. 'Cause I'm a huge Andrew Allen fan. I listened to his song, Loving You Tonight. Like that was like one of my favorite songs. And so that was such a cool experience. He is such a nice guy, like such a chill human. And so we were able to go in when before the show we went to the green room and we were able to kind of run through a few songs together. So I got to actually sing a couple songs with him when he played his set too. And that was, yeah, it was definitely a highlight, but just one of my favorite performance nights I've ever had. It was so cool.
That's crazy. So do you perform solo or do you perform with a band?
A little bit of a mixture. Primarily like kind of wherever people probably see me in the last like couple years, it's been mostly solo acoustic. I do a lot of kind of just like corporate stuff and just kind of playing private parties and all that. But I do have the occasional thing where I'll bring on kind of a band situation and do that. So it's kind of a mixture, but I'm looking to do more of the full band stuff once all of this is over because I love playing with a band. It is so much fun.
Oh yeah, no,
completely different energy.
Yeah, no, I agree with you. Yeah. So how did you meet the other musicians that in the band that you kind of play with?
Frozen.
Uh-oh.
It'll come back.
Mm-hmm.
Connection lost. There was a problem. Oh,
can you hear us now?
there she is. Yeah.
Yeah. Sorry, it froze.
We're good. Okay, cool. But yeah, no, the community, it's a very tight knit family type community. And so we were all able to kind of meet each other through mutual friends. And so the people that I've kind of been playing with more recently, I've played kind of a few shows with now and just meeting them throughout the years. And so it's really fun to finally like put together a full band show and situation. And but yeah, so it's kind of just through friends and community.
Fantastic, amazing. And yet you also mentioned that you play like corporate events as well. As a solo act, so what kind of corporate events have you played? Have you played any like for like big companies or anything?
Yeah, some companies. I actually love playing. I've played quite a few for kind of like the airport and kind of the White Hatters and stuff like that. So that's been really cool.
The Calgary airport. That's nuts. Wow.
Yeah, it's really cool. There's before all of the quarantine stuff, it's called the YYC music program, and so I think there's 14 of us artists now, and we all play throughout the airport, and we just kind of we used to play on like the luggage carousels and play past all of the security gates and stuff, and yeah, so that's one main thing that I was doing, but yeah, I definitely like through lots of different like private parties and stuff. People will hire me out for a little bit of events, or especially during Stampede, there was lots of like pancake breakfasts and stuff like that. And then lots of hotels as well. We love playing hotels. They're nice and relaxed. So yeah,
and it's a good way as well to meet like when you're playing at the airport, meet people from all over the world for sure.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, it's amazing. It's so much fun. It's one of the coolest things I feel like I got to do because I've heard so many cool stories of even just other musicians who just kind of have walked through, and I'm like, whoa, hello, that's cool. And so yeah, but you never know who you're going to meet at the airport.
No, you're right. Yeah. You're right. When I was in Washington Airport, funny story, when I was in Washington Airport, John Legend walked past me. Yep.
Just walked past.
Oh
he
my gosh.
He just walked past me. I saw him, and I was like,
That's John Legend.
That's John Legend. Huh.
There he goes.
Okay, hello, that's
There he
casual.
goes. Bye-bye.
That's crazy. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Okay.
The story wasn't
That's
as funny
pretty
as he
sweet.
led us to believe.
Ugh.
It was good.
That's
It's a good story. You know what?
pretty
It's a
famous
good
person.
story. I wouldn't say it's funny.
That's a pretty famous person. John Legend.
No, John Legend.
And stored in the
That's
memory
in
bank.
the memory bank there. Click.
Oh, absolutely. Yes.
Oh man.
Hilarious.
So right, tell us about this music incubator artist and entrepreneurship thing. Tell us about what that is, because
Yeah.
I'm not really familiar with that.
Yes, it is one of the best things I've ever experienced in my life. So it's basically a music program. They have one out in Toronto, and they also have one here in Calgary at Studio Bell. And it's basically, we did, I think it was 5 straight weeks of just learning all of the ins and outs of the music industry and the business, how to be the best entrepreneur artist that you can, because it's sometimes as an indie artist, you're doing so much crossover of what you have to fill for roles. And so they really give you the best strategies and ways to handle everything from booking shows, marketing yourself as an artist, collaborating with people, networking, building your brand, everything under the sun with that, which is, oh my gosh, it was such a life-changing experience. But they also have, we have like workshop weeks where they brought in like performance coaches, vocal coaches, and a producer and stuff. So it was kind of this both of kind of working on the business side, but also really working on building your craft as an artist and becoming more confident in your ability and your songwriting and everything. And so it's really cool. We had, I think, 11 people in our group, and we're all just like together, like hardcore collaborating for 5 weeks straight. And it was, I can confidently say it was one of the best experiences of my life. It was game changing. It was so cool.
That's crazy. Wow, that's nuts.
Yeah.
And you get to meet, like, it's a great networking opportunity for musicians and stuff like that. And wow, that's unbelievable.
Yes,
wow,
100%. I highly recommend it to anyone. It was incredible.
Jeez. And you said, so they have one in Calgary and Toronto as well.
Yeah, so I think the Toronto one is 2 months, and it's based out of Toronto. So when they moved over to Calgary, it's kind of a branch off of that. So they did a little bit of a shorter one, but they kind of compile every single piece of information that they taught in the Toronto one into the Calgary one. And but yeah, it's incredible. I highly recommend either program. Would be amazing. The whole like incubator team are just wonderful individuals. So yeah, amazing.
Wow, that's nuts. Yeah, like we haven't got anything like that back home in Scotland. Like we have some like networking workshops and stuff for musicians, but nothing to that extent. You know, where it's just like a 5 week like hardcore course.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was super cool.
Yeah, I bet.
I think that's something a lot of people like. It's an invaluable resource because a lot of new musicians, any artist, really doesn't really think of what they're doing as a business when it totally is.
Yes.
You need to know how to market yourself and sell yourself to people. So, totally invaluable resource. Well, yeah. Is it something you had to apply
100%.
for, or was it something that came up and someone said, "Here, you should do this"? Or
you know what? Actually, it was really cool because a lot of my mutual friends had done the program, and so they recommended it. So you apply, and then there's kind of like a follow-up process, interview process that you have to go through. But yes, 100%. It was such a cool program. I learned, I think, more just how to value myself as an artist, and like you said, like as a business, and how to realize that it's so important to value yourself that way and hold true to that and hold your standard to where you see yourself. And so it was so beneficial in that aspect, 100%.
Wow, that's fantastic.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, that's nuts.
Yeah.
So tell us about performing at the ACMA Fan Festival.
Yeah, that was so cool. The whole ACMA community has been like family, still are. They're amazing. And so I remember I was very shocked when I got even the Fans' Choice nomination. I did not expect that. I was painting my basement, and then I got a notification from someone saying like, "Hey, you got nominated." I'm like, "Wait, what?" Okay, cool. That's super friggin' awesome. And so,
back to painting.
Yeah, I was like, okay, gotta keep painting. Yeah. But yeah, no, it was super cool. And so when I got to play a fan fest, that was really cool because the previous year, that was my first time going to the Country Music Awards. And I just, I remember watching the whole festival and being like, that would be so cool to play. And the next year I was able to do that. And the turnout was so cool. The community is really, really supportive. And, but yeah, it went by so quickly. It was 3 songs. And I think when you're playing 3 songs, it's just like gone like that. But it was such a cool experience. And I'm so grateful for it. And that whole community is just wonderful.
That's fantastic. That's incredible. So you mentioned like so you have a bunch of songs, but do you have an EP out, or do you have an EP or an album that's in the works at the moment?
I'm actually I am working on some more recording right now, and potentially coming out as an EP situation. It's been really interesting trying to get creative with recording during the whole quarantine process, but. Me and my friends have been able to kind of keep working and keep songwriting and all that just through virtual sessions like this. And but yeah, that's definitely in the works. I have been doing a lot of writing and really trying to build craft around a project that makes it's very cohesive, and it's very much my direction moving forward and my style. So but yes, definitely.
Yeah, amazing, fantastic. Yeah, like artists now is obviously a very tough time for artists now and stuff like that, getting creative and like video chat and stuff like that, you know. So it's great that you're, as an artist, continuing to write and continuing to create music, you know, because a lot of artists nowadays, like, you know, might struggle to do that, might not have like the, you know, this sort of, because lots of gigs have been cancelled or festivals have been cancelled and stuff like that. So it's great to see an artist like you that is constantly writing and trying to create, you know, and keep moving forward for sure.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, and I think it'll be really cool to see a lot of our community and what they have come up with, because so many people have been taking the time to really work on the craft and build the catalog of songs that they have, so that once all the craziness is over, they're going to have kind of the best stuff they've ever made. But I'm really excited to see what everyone comes out with. I think it's going to be a really interesting kind of changeover. So, but yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Have you tried any of like the online performance stuff, or kind of just try to stay away from that?
I've done quite a few live streams just kind of going on as a guest. I haven't done one of like just kind of my own, but yeah, I've been hopping up on a lot, especially when everything kind of first started. So that was really cool. And it's a very different way of performing.
Totally.
It's kind of funny. Like, I think, cause I've played a lot of live shows in my time, but it's just like, it was a very nerve-wracking thing. I'm like, I'm in my house. Why am I nervous? Like, this is so weird. Yeah. But they're fun. I thought it was really cool to see everyone's comments and stuff on like the live streams, and you can still kind of interact with like an audience, even though it's a little bit of a different energy, but it was still super cool.
One thing that I've been noticing, like when we have the people on and they do a song and then they finish, they're not really sure like what to do next. There's a awkward smile or whatever. So we didn't we applaud now, but I don't think on the first one we were like, do we applaud? Can they see and hear? We don't know. So it's really strange just not having that immediate response.
Or we just whistle into the microphone.
Yeah. Just like that. Yeah. That's it.
Yeah, no, it's very true. And then when there's like connection issues too, and you're like, I have no idea what that person just said, but like, rock on. That's great.
That sounded great.
Yeah.
I bet that sounded
fantastic.
Awesome.
It looked like you're having a good time. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, okay, cool, but you tried. Cool.
Yeah, totally. Really strange.
Exactly, yeah. Well, curbside concerts, that's a new thing that's coming out in Calgary, and that's another creative process for artists to perform live in front of people, you know?
Yes, definitely. And it's really cool to see there is kind of lots of people taking advantage of that. Like music lovers are actually like really excited to bring out artists and just kind of, because I think it's just a different way of hearing music. And honestly, it's some ways that I think a lot of people never have experienced or might not experience again for a while once life kind of goes back to normal. So it's kind of cool. It's different, but different's not always a bad thing.
No, exactly. It's really cool. And I played a curbside concert last night. It was in the Northwest.
Oh.
And there was about like 60 people there. It was packed.
That's amazing.
Obviously, all 6 feet apart. Of course.
I was gonna say that sounds illegal.
Yeah. All 6 feet apart. Okay. And and they loved it. They really, every single person loved it. You know, like a wee tip jar and stuff. And the woman that booked us came out after the gig and gave us like ice cream sandwiches. Like, I've never had an ice cream sandwich, a homemade ice cream sandwiches. I've never had a nice one, ice cream sandwich before.
Oh my gosh, yes.
It was unbelievable, and so I asked for seconds. But
you did?
I did, yeah. I was like, listen.
You have another one of those?
Aye, Betty, I need another ice cream sandwich.
Out of the kindness of her heart, she gives you an ice cream sandwich. You're like, I want more.
It was so good. So I was like, Betty, you should sell these. They would sell like hot cakes or cold cakes.
They would sell like ice cream sandwiches.
Ice cream sandwiches, yeah. But yeah, people really do it. People really do love it, and they really enjoy just entertainment. You know, even just sitting in their front garden with a beer. They don't have to go anywhere. You know, drink drive isn't a thing, and they just sit and watch a band for an hour. You know, it's a fantastic.
Yeah, 100%. It's a cool way. It's like a different way that we're going to be able to say later that person in concert this way rather than the norm. So it's kind of a cool, different experience. We love that. Yeah.
I think it's also
actually my parents keep joking I should do one.
I think it's also introducing people to like new acts, because it's unfortunate that the bigger name acts aren't doing these kinds of shows. They're all online. Like, they're not going to come out to your curbside. So the only option they have is to see local bands or people who are willing to go to the curbside and set up not, a huge production, which I think is great.
Yeah, I really do.
You don't see John Legend on the sidewalk playing his piano, do you?
No, you don't. No.
You're like, hey man,
Jerk.
what's fun? Remember me from the airport?
Yeah.
Remember me?
I saw you in Washington.
Yeah. Like 5 years ago. Can you remember that?
No.
John just like, no. I was like, okay, well, there's $5. Buy yourself something nice, John.
Oh my god, I love that. Yes. That'd be amazing. John Legend on a curbside concert. Like, that's what I would love that. That'd be incredible.
Let's make that.
Hit him up.
Let's
just send
make
him a
that
DM.
happen.
Yep.
Let's make that happen. John, if you're watching this, give us a ring.
Drop into my DMs. Yeah. Isn't that what they say? Slide into my DMs.
Slide into you got it.
I screwed it up.
It's okay,
No,
mate.
you did
Thanks.
great.
It's okay.
Thank you.
You know, he's not
You're welcome.
not down with the kids, mate. It's
Yeah,
all good.
I'm not hip.
Amazing. So before we go, can you tell people where they can find you online on social media?
Yeah, absolutely. You can find me on social media at Megan Dawson Music, pretty much everywhere except Twitter. You can find me at Meg Dawson Music because it was too many characters by 2 letters.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then everything else, yeah, you can just basically find at megandawsonmusic.com, and that will kind of give you everything you might be looking for. But yeah,
Amazing.
Very good.
That's quite interesting. You have Twitter. We've spoken to a lot of artists, and they don't really use Twitter.
it's fun. It definitely took me a hot minute to understand and be comfortable with like this is what I have to say. But it's a different kind of world. It's very opposite to Instagram, so it's kind of
Yeah.
And it teaches you to be selective. If you have a
Yes.
message, you need to be selective about how you say it because there's only a certain amount of characters.
Is it?
And it's a totally different market. It's invaluable.
Such a different-
I have Twitter. I'll follow you.
I don't have-
amazing. I'll follow you back.
Thank
you
you.
should get Twitter.
I'll get Twitter and I'll follow
should,
you,
yeah.
and I'll maybe follow you.
Thank you.
I don't know.
What about TikTok? Do you have TikTok?
Oh, TikTok.
Oh my gosh. Okay, guys,
Okay.
I do have TikTok.
Okay, me
Ugh.
too.
I've got TikTok
Okay,
too.
cool.
You have one video.
I have one video. Yeah.
That's great. 100%. Yeah, that's where all the hip kids cool things
It's
are
true.
happening.
I didn't
TikTok.
understand it when I first got it. To be honest, I got it, then I deleted it because it was just
Yeah.
teenage girls dancing. I was like, that's
Yeah.
not for me. And then someone was like, no, you have to give it time and invest, some time in it to get what you want to get where you want to be.
Yep.
Which it is better
Yeah.
now. I have to admit, it's better now.
Exactly.
That is a lot better.
I think the algorithm changes and starts to realize what you like, what you don't like, and so it
Yes.
starts catering to you a bit
Yes.
more, and then you start to become addicted, and you're spending 3 hours on there, and you're like, how has it been 3 hours already?
Exactly.
I don't sleep anymore.
He doesn't.
Yeah, sleep isn't a thing.
No,
absolutely
it's
not a thing anymore.
TikTok, breakfast, repeat.
Yes,
Yeah.
Over and
I
over and
feel
over and
that.
over again. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm definitely still learning how to make TikToks, and like I'm trying to figure out how to be like, how can use this thing.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's definitely kind of weird, but it's fun.
Yeah.
I shamelessly love TikTok.
Yeah.
It's great.
When I downloaded TikTok, I was like, oh, what am I going to do? Am I going to post drum videos? And I was like, oh no, it's super cliche. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to do something fun that I've never really done on social media, and it's I just scare people and I video it.
Fun.
Yes, it's Ben Scares. You've got one. You've got an Instagram as well.
I have an Instagram called Benton Scares.
Benton Scares.
I've been
Ben
scaring
Scares.
people for years. It is my
What?
lifeblood.
I find this because I would like to see this. That's
Yeah.
fantastic.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it's mainly just my girlfriend because she scares super easily. But yeah, follow us on TikTok, Ben Scares, and Instagram,
Yeah.
Benton Scares.
Yeah.
Yeah.
100%. I
Easily
love
spend
that.
5 hours on
Watching some scares.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Absolutely. I'm in support of that.
we've
I will
talked
be your
enough
biggest
about us
fan.
now. Let's get back to Megan's stuff. That's what we're here to promote.
Yeah.
No. It's good. It's good. I
It's
think
all-
it's important
it's all
people know.
important.
Amazing. So you're gonna play us a song to finish the podcast?
Yeah, I can do that. I can. Yes. So, I think the song I'm going to play, I wrote this one she's another artist in Calgary. Her name's Chelsea Hayslip. She goes by Chelsea, but highly recommend her. She's an incredible writer, incredible human. But this was the first song we ever wrote together, and this one's called What If We Did?
Should've gone home, oh no. 3 a.m. Each shot sent it in, drew close. Let's expose tension to an end, but we're just friends. Maybe we will, maybe we won't be something more. Maybe we do, maybe we don't want something more. But what if we did? Lips on lips, taste skin on skin, lips on lips, taste your kiss, don't ask questions, put skin on skin, hard to breathe, taste your bliss, but we can never, but what if we did? But what if we did? But what if we did?
Thank you for tuning in to Calgary Basement Sessions.
If you like the content, don't forget to like and subscribe. That really helps us out.
And please follow us on social media on Facebook and Instagram at YYC Basement Sessions.